So many of you have heard of something called the Now and Forever campaign, which we announced a number of years ago, and had a couple of goals. And the people who helped to drum up this whole campaign, who helped to build the entire vision, are these two gentlemen here. They, along with their co-chairs, Joyce Neustadt and Susan Lowenberg, who unfortunately could not be here with us tonight, but they built this campaign and they led it. And these two people, if you don't know Scott and Bill, hopefully you will before the evening is out. Because for the foundation and for our community and for so many other things that they've been involved in, they have been anchors and rocks, pillars and paragons. And I could not be more proud to have been part of this with you and to turn the microphone over to you to make a rather big announcement.
Thank you. Can we put it? So 5 years ago, Roger and Deb convened a group of 12 people to ask our advice on the prospects of developing a campaign to ensure Horizons Foundation's future. We worked for a brief moment with a consultant who assured us we could only raise $2 million in order to launch a campaign to raise a significant amount of legacy, which she thought we may be able to raise $10 million of legacy dollars. It was 2014. The beloved Barack Obama was in the White House. The United States Supreme Court had declared marriage equality the law of the land. The stock market, thanks to President Obama's stewardship of the economy, was booming. LGBT persons were U.S. senators, big city mayors, running for governor here and there. What could possibly go wrong? Naysayers told us we could not possibly raise money in this environment. What with marriage, wasn't it all accomplished? With our co-chairs, Joyce and Susan, we gathered together another group, this time around 20 seasoned leaders, women and men, who had been around, who loved Horizons, and who loved our community. And we collectively said, no, it is not accomplished. I'd like to join us on stage, if you're still here, Al Baum, Tom Burke, Aaron Flynn, Richard Davis Lovell, Audrey Coe, Larry Colton, Bev Scott, Mark Leno, Jeff Louie, Leah Sugamora, Helen Zia, and Jim Shea. It didn't take us long to dispatch the consultant, and we decided to support Roger and Deb's ambitious agenda for the Now and Forever campaign. This group met monthly for 3 years, attending evening meetings to plot out this campaign, totally unaware that on the horizon was a specter of the current occupant of the White House, with all his machinations and destructions, targeting not only LGBTQI persons, but our sisters and brothers from many other communities, African Americans, the differently abled, immigrants, African Americans, Mexican Americans, women, undocumented persons, especially targeting their toddlers and children, Native Americans, prisoners of war, Puerto Ricans, actually all from one community, the human community. This campaign cabinet, along with the leadership and staff of the foundation, created and executed a plan to raise one shitload of money to make firm our community's future, come what may, and to signal to other communities that we are in fact and in truth one community, built on the indestructible foundation of justice, equality, and yes, as the LGBTQI community's unique contribution, love. As Lin-Manuel Miranda spoke so eloquently at the Tonys the night after the Pulse Massacre in June of 2016 as we launched our campaign, Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. At the end of the day, this is what we bring. This is what this diverse and complex community is ultimately about. It is actually why we're here tonight. It's what's sitting with us at our tables tonight. It's what's expressing ourselves exactly as our very souls require. We came out for love. We stay out for love. And we'll meet the enormous challenges that we face with, at the end of the day, love. It is enough. But money helps. To say more about this campaign and our threshold announcement, the man I love, Scott Hafner.
So that's the narrative, and here are the numbers. The campaign had two goals: raise $3.5 million in immediate capital to invest in Horizons, the foundation for our community. The funds would fortify it for generations to come and invest significant resources in the foundation's legacy giving. We reached that goal, all of us together, actually exceeded it back in 2017. The second goal was the ROI, the return on investment of phase one. We promised to identify a staggering $100 million in future legacy commitments to the LGBTQ community. $100 million to ensure that whatever our community needs were, Horizons would be there. More than a year earlier than it planned, Horizons Foundation last week, all of us together exceeded that goal of $100 million. Actually, it's $103.5 million, at least at the beginning of the gala, but who knows what happens at a Horizons gala, anything is possible. That means over $100 million designated to serve LGBTQ youth and elders, queer immigrants and asylees, our families, and the organizations that serve all of them. And of course, we're not about to stop. The needs of our community are too great, and more importantly, the potential of our community is too powerful to do anything less than step on the gas. We've got another year to go to the end of this campaign, so fasten your seatbelts. It's an enormous accomplishment. It's an enormous accomplishment due to the hard work of the people here and due to the generosity of all of you and hundreds and thousands of our brothers and sisters in the community that have made this possible.